Hello, everybody. I'm here today to tell you about the newest assignment that I have planned for all of you. So, this assignment will be a creative writing assignment, everybody's favorite. But I think we'll have a lot of fun with it, even if it's not your favorite. So, don't stress out if it isn't. All right? So, basically, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the journal prompt, and then we're going to discuss it as a class, and then we're going to do another journal prompt that's related to that. And then we're going to discuss that as a class as well. And then we're going to use those journal prompts as kind of a starting point for the actual assignment that we're going to do. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so now that you know the materials you will need, if you want to write this on paper, if you want to write this on a computer, you can do that with one of the school laptops or in the computer lab if you have some free time between classes or whenever you want to work on that. It doesn't matter to me. Either way is fine as long as you have it done by the deadline. All right. So we're going to start off with our first writing prompt now. And for this writing prompt, it will be half a page. So for those of you who don't remember by now, that is 50 words because some people write larger, some people write smaller. 50 words is a good kind of middle ground for people, so you don't have to worry about the size of your writing. Okay, and this will be in your journals for this class, so go ahead and take your journals out and something to write with. And for this prompt, this is just the first of two. I want you, first of all, think of your heroes in life. Okay, we all have heroes that we look up to, we want to be like. There's at least one person for all of us. Doesn't matter our background, there's got to be somebody. Think about the traits that this person has, the characteristics that they possess. And then I want you to think of a fictional character who also possesses some of these same traits and characteristics. Okay, this can be anybody from a story, anybody from any kind of book you've read, a movie you've watched, or TV show you've watched. Okay, but I don't want this to be a real person. That's the main thing with this writing prompt. I want this to be about a fictional hero that you have. All right? So I'll give you a few minutes to get started on that, and then we're going to discuss as a class. So go ahead and get started. All right, so hopefully you guys had a lot of fun with that. I know all of the journal prompts should be fun, but I know this is probably a little more fun for some of you guys who are more into that fictional creative outlet. All right, so I know we discussed it a little bit, and we're ready for that second journal prompt. So this one is a little bit different, all right, but it does all connect with everything that we're doing here, so don't worry. All right, so the second journal prompt, I want you to write the same thing, half a page, but this time instead of a fictional hero, I want you to think of non-fictional traditions that your family may have. Okay, so this could be on Easter Sunday, everybody goes to the grandparents' house and has a big Easter egg hunt and has dinner. Or this can be Christmas, going to your parents' house to open presents, just hang out and have a good time. Any tradition, it doesn't even have to be a holiday. It can be a birthday, it can be just a get-together that you have, a yearly get-together. It could be a family reunion, anything in the world, just as long as it's a tradition. If your family doesn't have any traditions, then if you have to make one up, that's completely okay. Just write as if it was an actual tradition of your family's. All right? So for the actual prompt, you can explain what it is, your thoughts about it. Maybe you really like doing this tradition, maybe you don't. Just a little bit of insight for us listeners and for me as a reader when I actually do read this prompt, okay? So go ahead and get started on that. I'll give you a few minutes, and then we will discuss that as a class, all right? All right. That was a great job for those of you that shared with the class. I really like to hear about these traditions because my family had some traditions growing up, and some of them are similar, some of them are different than the typical traditions, but I like to hear about other traditions too. And I like when you guys are excited to share those traditions with the class and with me as your teacher. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to introduce or reintroduce the creative aspect of this assignment. So I handed out a sheet of paper with some instructions on it to you guys. That's basically the run through of this creative assignment, but I'm going to go ahead and go over it with you guys real quick before we get started as well. All right, so if you haven't written a creative fictional piece before, which most of you probably have at this point, basically what I'm looking for is for you to come up with your own ideas. You can mix fiction and nonfiction, that's fine, but I want this to be your story that you're telling me. I don't want this to be something that happened that you're just recounting events about, okay? And when we get started, you'll understand that that's not even possible in this case. So go ahead and take out that handout, all right? And just to start, this will be a 2 to 4 page assignment. For those of you who are not very creative or don't like writing, 2 pages is not actually a whole lot. I know it may seem like a lot, but it should be pretty easy for you guys to hit 2 pages. All right, and then for those of you who do enjoy writing, the 4-page max is kind of flexible. If you want to go over that, that's fine. Just don't make it super long because I do have to read all these and grade them in a timely manner. But I mean, I would say as long as it's not like 20 pages, you're good. You're good to go. All right. So 2 to 4 pages. If you're typing this, make sure it's MLA format. So 12 point Times New Roman font, double space. Make sure you have your header, everything in place. You don't have to have a cover page for me. I think that's pretty much the gist of it for typing. If you're handwriting it, the main thing is make it legible. Please, I have to read this. If I can't read it, I can't really grade it. And there's nothing I can do about that, all right? So if you choose to do physical handwritten copies, make sure I can read it, okay? All right, so to get started, now that we know how long this needs to be and what to do if we're typing versus handwriting this, what I want you to do for this story is I want you to take your fictional hero and your nonfiction family tradition, and I want you to combine them, okay? This can be as crazy or as non-crazy if you want, even though that's not as fun, a little more boring. It would probably not be as fun to write about either. So for example, if my hero would have been Captain America, and then my tradition that I wrote about would have been Thanksgiving dinner at my grandparents' house, I would probably begin with that tradition and then introduce Captain America and then maybe some kind of issue that arises and then maybe some fictional bad guys or something along those lines, just to be creative. Besides that, there aren't really a whole lot of guidelines. Make sure that what you're writing is school appropriate, obviously. And yeah, if you have any questions about anything, this is what we're going to be working on for the rest of class today, and then maybe another class and a half. And then we're going to, if some people want to share, we'll be able to share. We'll discuss the writing process that we went through. And then I will grade them, well, just a rough draft of them. And then I'll give them back and we can kind of rework them and we can share with a partner. We'll do some peer review stuff and we'll really iron out these stories and we're going to have a good time with this. And yeah, this is just going to be a really fun assignment. So go ahead and get started. You can use one of our classroom computers or laptops if you want to write. If you need to make some notes, brainstorming is always a great idea. I know we went over that earlier in the semester. That applies to this as well. All right. So any questions, just let me know and good luck.